Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video. So basically I am stuck right now. Car is not starting at all. And I'm not quite sure what to do at this point. But I'm probably going to end up calling somebody that told me. I'm probably going to end up calling Camry. But here's the thing. I went out to get some. Get back to my car. Try to get it started, ready to go home, and nothing happens except I get everything else that works, but nothing else happens. All right, radio turned on without a problem. Blower motor turned on. All the lights on the dash worked, but nothing else seems to work. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I left something on because I was out for maybe like 30-45 minutes, but I don't think that's enough to actually cause anything to crap the battery out. But just to be sure, I actually double checked everything and everything was off. But I did turn on the headlights on the side just to see if the beams were high. And the beams were good. Well, as far as I could tell, the beams were good. But I couldn't be 100% sure that it wasn't, the battery. I was hoping it was the battery because I have a jump pack. But, there's no cranking at all. I didn't hear any kind of cranking. No soft crank, no slow crank, nothing. So I'm like, okay, just to be sure, I'm going to use my jump pack that I bought about a month ago for these kind of situations. Hopefully it'll work. But before I did that, I noticed that my terminals were a bit dirty. Saw some corrosion on it. Took a wrench, took the terminals off. Cleaned it a little bit. Wire brush. Put it back on. Jumped in my car, tried to start it, hoping that was the reason why. Didn't start. So I'm like, okay, at that point, gotta use the jump pack. Put the jump back on, turn it on, try to start the car, nothing at all. Nothing. Same thing. Everything works in the car except I'm not getting kind of cranking. It's not cranking, it's silent. Well, not really silent. There's one click. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, at this point, what else could it be? Could it be the alternator? No, not the alternator. And the test for the alternator is, normally the alternator your car would die out if the battery was 100% dead and the alternator wasn't charging it. And normally that would happen when your engine's running. Like your car's running, you're idling, your car has to be on, the engine has to be on. But this wasn't the case. Anyway, me putting the jump pack cables onto my battery terminal. If it was the alternator, the car would start up, and then after I took the cables off, the car would have died out because there would be nothing going to, there would be no electricity since the alternator would be dead. But that's not the case here. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be probably like a bigger issue now because now, next up, I got to check out the electronics of this car. All right, could be a fuse, a relay. So right off the bat, I'm thinking maybe the relay took the cover off the fuse box. I'm like checking the to see where the starter relay is. I'm like, all right, found it. There's another relay in that fuse box that has pretty much the same same wattage. It's the same. It's a similar relay. So I popped that out, popped the starter to the relay to the starter out, swapped it. Hoping that was the case, because if that was the case, I would just need to Uber to an AutoZone and then get it. Guess what? Did it work? No, it did not work. Unfortunately, it did not work. I didn't think it was the relay because I was hearing a click coming from. Oh man, I'm tired. Coming from the solenoid. I hear a click every time I try to turn on. I hear a click. All right, I hear a click. So, but this is not the first time I've had this situation. This is probably like the third time in about 2 months I had this situation. And the previous situations, I was able to turn on within like 5 or 6 different times. You know, the 5th or 6th time trying to turn it on, I was able to turn it on. But this time I tried like 15 times, nothing happened. So I don't think this is the case. I don't think that's the problem here, unfortunately. So it's not the relay, because I know, you know, once you hear that click, that's the solenoid on the starter going off. It's just the starter motor is not, you know, turned on. So let's move on to the fuse. The fuse. Could it be the fuse? So I'm thinking to myself, I don't have a fuse tester. I could get a fuse tester, but I'm not going to do that. Didn't do that. So I'm like, the only 2 times I had a fuse issue where the car didn't start were this. All right, one time the main fuse blew. Main fuse blew. So I'm thinking to myself, the main fuse blew at the time, and there was no electricity going to this car at all. Nothing turned on. There was nothing. No beeps, no lights, nothing. Swap out that fuse, the car turned back on, all the electricity turned back on. But unfortunately, that's not this case, because I am getting electricity into the car for everything except it's not starting. The second time I had a fuse issue was there was a fuse to the fuse pump or the car's computer that blew. It would crank up, but it would not turn over. It would not start. It would crank. It would not turn over. Swap out that fuse. Everything works. All right. But unfortunately, that's not this case, because everything turns on except this car is not cranking up. I mean, that's the main problem here. And it's not the fuses. As far as I can tell, it's not the fuses. So what else could it be? Moving on to the starter. Now, I would have guessed the starter maybe like, you know, earlier as far as diagnosing is concerned, but I had the starter changed out about 8 months ago. I had the starter on this car swapped out 8 months ago. Went to AutoZone, bought a rebuilt starter. Now, I had the same situation like this 8 months ago. I mean, it wasn't like I was having this sporadically situation like before that, but you know, I woke up in the morning and tried to start my car in the morning, and I had this issue. Same issue. But today, I mean, 8 months on a starter, you know, it's ridiculous. If it is the case, it's ridiculous. All right. I had a choice of getting a rebuilt starter, a brand new starter. The rebuilt starter was $150. A brand new one was $300. Symptoms. I'm not quite sure if it is the starter or not. Technically, what I could do is I could go out and try to bump the starter with a long crowbar, see if that actually starts it up. If you guys don't know how to do that, if you guys can figure out where the starter is, you guys take a long crowbar or something, bump, you know, take a crack at the starter a couple of times, loosen whatever components is up on the starter, and then try to turn the car on. If it starts up, you know, sometimes it does start up, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not going to do that in this situation. Now, because I don't have a crowbar long enough to do that. So I could figure out where the starter is and then put a cable to the starter, to the solenoid, and then see if that actually cranks it up. Now, if that actually cranks it up, then I know that the starter's okay. But I can't figure at this point to do that. I don't have a wire, or I don't have a wire little setup where I could do that with certain things. So I can't do that right now. Unfortunately, that sucks. So what I'm going to do at this point, because I mean, I could ask somebody to help and jump my car, but I already have the power pack, and that power pack was like 100% on a full level. I know sometimes these power packs fail on you, but I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. I'm pretty sure the power pack actually did its job, and it's just not cranking up, not because it's not getting enough juice to it. I'm pretty sure at this point, I mean, haven't done too many tests so far, but at this point, from what I'm seeing right now, is probably the starter that's the issue. And I'm gonna call AAA up, and hopefully they won't take too long to get to me to tow my car to my house so that I could do some more testing on it. Probably get a longer crowbar to take a whack on the starter and see if that actually starts to pop up. But I'll keep you guys updated, guys. All right, guys, how's it going? I had done a lot of tests on this issue. I was, AAA took about an hour and a half to get to me. It kind of sucks that I wasted time, but got it towed to my house. I was able to get a long crowbar, bumped the starter, and funny enough, it did start up. I turned it off, tried to turn it back on again, nothing. Took a whack at it a couple of times. It did start up, turn it off, turn it back on, nothing. So at that point, I was pretty sure it was a starter, but just to be sure it wasn't a loose wire or something like that, I checked all the cables to it. They're good. So what I did next is I had taken a wire, I think it was like 12 gauge wire, or I think it was a 12 gauge wire, and I hooked it up to the battery. And what I did was I tried putting it onto the little terminal on the solenoid, see if it actually works. And nothing. So at that point, I knew that the starter was malfunctioning on this car. Spent a couple hours taking it out. It was still in the warranty. Took it to AutoZone, replaced it. I had the choice of getting a brand new starter, but I didn't want to spend $300, so I ended up getting another refurbished starter. Popped it in, and it runs without a problem. Now, I had a couple words with AutoZone. I told them the situation. The starter lasted 8 months. Why did the starter only last 8 months? I mean, considering, starters should last over 100,000 miles, and I only put up maybe like 10,000 miles on this car over the last 8 months, and I am really disappointed. Even though I got the starter, a replacement starter for free, I think it's a lifetime warranty or whatever. Yeah, that's not the point, because time is money, and I must have lost about 6-7 hours on this, which really, really, really sucks. But it is what it is. Here's the thing with rebuilt starters. You guys don't know anything about rebuilt starters. If you guys bought a rebuilt starter, just know that when they give you a rebuilt starter, when you buy a rebuilt starter or rebuilt alternator or anything that's rebuilt, they only fix the part that's broken. Like if the wire is the only part that's broken, that's the only part that they replace. Every other part that is on that starter, guess what? It has the same amount of mileage that was on your vehicle when you took the core into the shop to get the $20, $25, $40 reimbursement for the core. Unfortunately, I don't know why they don't rebuild everything on it. I don't even know how they clean the damn thing to the point where it looks like it's brand new. It doesn't matter. It kind of sucks that way. I am hoping that my starter, the starter that I got as a replacement, a rebuilt one, will last me a lot longer than what I got out of this starter. All right. I hope this has helped you guys out. As far as going through the steps of trying to figure out, you know, what would cause the car not to start. And, you guys have any comments? Also, please give me a thumbs up, guys. I really would appreciate it. And if you guys want to subscribe, please subscribe. I read all my comments. You guys want to leave a comment, please leave a comment. Please leave a thumbs up. Could even leave a thumbs down if you want. I really don't care, as long as you guys, you know, give me some kind of thumbs up, thumbs down. If you guys want to leave a comment. And I'm going in circles right now, but I'm glad this whole entire thing actually worked out, as far as, you know, figuring out what the issue is. You know, at least it's not the biggest of issues, but it's big enough where it took out a lot of my time. But it is what it is, guys. All right, take care.